God's unchanging hand. Build your hopes on things eternal and hold to God's unchanging hand.
Thank you very much for doing this. From the historic Texas Cemetery Designation Site, cemeteries are important keys to Texas past. They're reminders of settlement patterns and reveal information about historic events, religion, lifestyles, and genealogy. I want to read just a brief bit of this historical narrative that we put together. A lot of this was gathered. Some of y'all have read this from other publications, some of this information, but just in honor of this settlement, of this community. The first known settlers were the DeWitt family into this area after people had migrated from the southeastern part of the United States from land grants that were offered by the government. The DeWitt family who arrived in 1854. In 1873, the settlement had grown and the Presbyterian Baptist community established Mount Joy Baptist Church. In addition, the Bufords, from whom came the town's namesake, also established a congregation of Methodist Episcopal Church South in 1874. Mrs. Buford was said to have christened the area Mount Joy out of her gladness that their long journey had finally come to an end. That same year, Leroy Buford opened a mercantile store to be followed by the first post office opening in 1876. In 1884, the settlement of 100 supported, and just try to imagine this here in this area right here, the settlement of 100 supported 3 steam cotton gins, a grist mill, a shingle factory, 3 general stores, a dry goods establishment, 3 smithies, and a woodwork shop. Stagecoaches left daily for Cooper, the county seat, at a cost of $2 for each passenger. Mail arrived every day, probably on the stage. W.R. Brigman, the postmaster that year, was a trustee for the Camp Shed Cemetery located nearby. And it's just amazing how things have changed and how from that time, then I think Enlow kind of stole some of the population and the thrust of the economic engine over to Enlow. But anyway, this has been an honor for us to be involved in this, and I think just again a condensed version in honor of those, because there are some that have served in the Civil War and in the military that are interred here. We'd like to ask Mr. Randall McGuire if you would play taps once again.